Main components of the starter motor. The starter motor is an essential component of a car's starting system. Its main function is to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy to start the internal combustion engine. The internal components of the starter motor include 1. Armature, also known as a rotor. It is a coil of copper wire that rotates within the magnetic field created by permanent magnets. The armature has an iron core and is connected to a shaft that is driven when the starter motor is activated. 2. Commutator acts as a switch that controls the electric current flowing through the armature. It is made up of a series of electrical contacts that open and close as the armature rotates. 3. Brushes. They are electrical contacts that are in constant contact with the commutator and supply electric current to the armature. Brushes are generally graphite and are spring-mounted to ensure proper contact. 4. Permanent magnet generates a constant magnetic field that interacts with the armature to create the torque necessary to start the motor. Permanent magnets are made of strong magnetic materials, such as iron, cobalt or neodymium. 5. Solenoid. It is a coil of copper wire that is activated when the ignition key is turned. The solenoid acts as a switch to connect the battery to the starter motor, allowing the current necessary to operate it to flow. 6. Starter pinion. It is a gear connected to the armature shaft that moves forward to mesh with the engine flywheel. When the starter sprocket engages the flywheel, it transfers the torque needed to rotate the engine's crankshaft and start the engine. 7. Gearbox. Located between the solenoid and the starter pinion, the gearbox is responsible for transmitting the rotary movement of the armature to the starter pinion. It is made up of a series of gears that multiply speed and torque to achieve efficient starting. 8. Field coil. It is a coil of copper wire that produces a magnetic field when fed with electric current. This field interacts with the armature to generate the necessary rotary motion. 9. Return spring. It is an internal spring that is responsible for returning the starter pinion once it has engaged with the engine flywheel. This prevents damage to the starting system and ensures that the pinion is ready for future starting. 10. Drive shaft. It is the shaft that connects the armature with the starter pinion. When the armature rotates, motion is transferred through this shaft to the pinion, allowing engagement with the engine flywheel. These are some of the most common internal components found in a car starter motor. However, it is important to note that technology and designs may vary between car manufacturers and models. If you have further questions about the specific components of a particular starter motor, it would be advisable to consult the owner's manual or search for specific information on the model in question. In addition to these internal components, it is also important to mention that the starter motor is powered by electrical energy from the car battery. This power is supplied through wires connected to the solenoid and is subsequently distributed to the armature, commutator and brushes. In conclusion, the starter motor of a car is made up of different internal components that work together to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy and achieve starting of the internal combustion engine. Each of these components plays a crucial role in the operation of the starter motor and the successful starting of the car.